Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from Washington, D.C. On the broadcast today, Congressman Mark Amodei of CD2 here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers Goes to Washington is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy. NV Energy proudly serves Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Nevada Mining Association, mining a better future for Nevada. And University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, offering the highest level of care in Nevada.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
Hit the open road on a brand new Harley or win a bundle of cash during the $250,000 Harley-Davidson giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Thousands in weekly giveaways, plus multiple grand prize winners including cash and 7 brand new Harleys. Now at the Carson Valley Inn.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
For me, there's nothing more important than getting my patients the care they need. So when I hear that Sam Brown supports allowing states to ban abortion, even in cases of rape, even to protect the life of the mother, I know what that would mean. When doctors' hands are tied, the results can be catastrophic, but Sam Brown doesn't seem to care. Sam Brown has shown that he is not looking out for the best interests of my patients. He is way too extreme for Nevada.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from Washington, D.C. We're always pleased to welcome back to the program Congressman Mark Amodei of CD2. Great to be here with you, sir.
Good to see you, Sam.
Let's start out with a conversation I had earlier this morning with Jamila Bush. She's the president of the Reno American Postal Workers Union, based in Reno, obviously. And her concern about this whole postal situation is that, yes, it appears that the letters are going to stay in Reno, but their bigger business is the parcels, and they're concerned that they're going to lose that business, and that's going to result in potentially 40 to 50 people having to move out of the area because the jobs won't be there for them, and also that that's a major part of their business, that local businesses that rely on competing with companies like Amazon for the fast turnaround are going to end up wanting to leave northern Nevada because they won't have the service that they need.
Well, a couple things, Sam. First of all, we have already, after the announcement, said we want you, Postal Service, to come in and give us a briefing on what this all means instead of just going off that one thing. Clearly, the announcement was a step in the right direction for things like letters and ballots and stuff like that, because those were big concerns. However, I would also point out that the announcement said that no jobs in Reno would be lost, which is why we've asked for the briefing again to go, okay, so now where does that leave us? We will be talking with them about packages and stuff like that to make sure that the modernization stuff to keep that sorting center competitive is still going through as far as machinery and stuff like that. We'll obviously be talking about jobs, and we'll be talking about packages too, to see what your stuff isn't going to California anymore means. But let's just say this. Not small steps, but big steps. At least the letters, we know they have committed to not doing so far. That doesn't mean end of declare victory, mission accomplished, and move on. As we've learned over the years, the Postal Service is a constant oversight challenge, even to the point where we've got a couple of new things now where apparently they're not watering the lawns in some of the post offices around. So there's always plenty of postal business to do. So if anybody thinks that it's like mission accomplished, we're declaring victory and moving on, we're still in the trenches, slugging away, making sure we know everything there is to know about what's going on at that Reno sorting center as well as post offices throughout Nevada.
Let me throw a couple of other things just briefly into this. One is, as I spoke to Jamila, she said that there is a part of their union contract that says that people, have to have, jobs. They can get moved within a 50-mile radius, but they can also apply to the national union. The government can to move them further out. And there are cases where there are people sitting around in rooms doing absolutely nothing, getting a paycheck because they've been moved, but there were no jobs there.
Well, tell Jamila next time she hangs up the phone with you to please feel free to call my office so that we're on the same sheet of music.
Okay, very good. Let's move on. Another serious topic. Your response in regard to what is commonly being referred to as the racist incident in Virginia City. You're the congressman on the Congressional Travel and Tourism Committee who also represents Virginia City.
Yep.
So your thoughts on what
Well, it's my understanding that the district attorney, Ann Langer, up there is fully engaged, that people have, I believe it's 3 people have been arrested and charged, that they've gotten lifetime bans from the Hot August Nights thing, and so since there's criminal proceedings going on, it's like, well, let's follow them through and see what happens to them. That's why we have district attorneys and U.S. attorneys and that sort of stuff. So we're monitoring it, but so far it's like, well, they've been arrested and whatever. So I'm assuming that the justice system at the local level will deal with that appropriately, but we'll keep an eye on it.
You are well known for your personal PR. What recommendations do you have to Story County or Virginia City to make sure that this doesn't have lasting effects?
Well, I think first of all, Sam, it's like there was nothing good about that. Obviously, that was a black eye in terms of an area that's been phenomenally successful in tourism since the beginning. And so I don't want to paint with the same brush. If there's some bad apples, then we need to deal with them so the barrel stays the way it always has been. So that's our view of it. They're being dealt with, and so whether it's Virginia City as a national historic landmark and a tourism destination, I don't think this is representative of the folks on the Comstock, and hasn't been for a long time. You've got some people, Marshall McBride up there, who's on the Hot August Nights board, straight shooter, longtime Virginia City family, all that other sort of stuff. They were absolutely crushed and dismayed that it would happen in their jurisdiction. So I think going forward, it's like, hey, I think it's fair to judge you by the totality of your involvement and your record. And Virginia City and Hot August Nights too, are certainly entitled to the benefit of that doubt. And I don't think there's a doubt what kind of operation that Hot August Nights is or what kind of venue Virginia City is.
Changing topics, we talk about this all the time with you, the lands bills.
Yeah.
I was in conversation yesterday with Congressman Horsford, and he pointed out that Catherine Cortez Masto was heading things up in the South, and Jackie Rosen was heading things up in the North. I brought up your name as somebody who's been very much involved. He pointed out it was a congressional delegation thing. So the question is, we're in September, you only have a couple of weeks left in this session. Mm-hmm. What are the chances of getting something done with the lands bills now?
Well, when you say the lands bills and you're talking to me, it's the Northern Nevada Economic Development Act, blah, 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 that has been in, part of it, the Pershing County part was passed 2 Congresses ago. Nothing happened in the Senate. It's got a significant Douglas County piece. There's some Carson stuff. There's a few Washoe things in it. We have been told by Chairman Westerman that it will be marked up in the Natural Resources Committee in 2 weeks. So it will be committee passed at that point in time, which puts us in the position we need. If the Senate does anything, then we're in good shape. I am confident about that. I think either Senator Cortez Masto's SNPLMA update, since she's the senior member of the delegation there, this will be the second Congress they've tried to move that out. I haven't talked with the Clark County folks, although the manager's on my calendar next week, I believe it is, to say, So how are we looking on that? Does that resemble what the Clark County Commission wanted in the last Congress versus what was tried to get out of committee, which weren't the same bills? So I'm hoping they've kind of got together. There were a couple of water issues on that. I hope that, Sam, because if the Senate's got a bill that they want that deals with Southern Nevada, and we've got the one that deals with basically rural Nevada for the most part, then that would seem to be a pretty good dynamic for getting those things done in conference. But I think ultimately anything that gets done will be post-election when you start talking the conferencing process. The important part for our bill is that it's out of the committee so you can say this is the will of the House. So I'm not happy with the timing, I'll be frank. I wanted it done a long time ago. But it was because we got together with the chairman of the Public Land Subcommittee and the chairman of the overall committee to say, hey, what the heck, to where we've got it to where now it's like, it's on for that. And so we'll start working on, okay, well, what's happening in the Senate? Because if there's nothing happening in the Senate, as you know, the Senate hasn't been a great place for Nevada lands bills since Harry Reid left. And I'll just leave it at that.
All right, let's take a break. We'll be back more with Congressman Mark Amodei after this timeout.
Come celebrate Tamarack Casino's 23rd anniversary with $50,000 in giveaways this September. $5,000 big cash winners every Saturday, and a $10,000 big cash winner during the grand finale celebration on September 28th. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation here from Washington, D.C. with Congressman Mark Amodei of CD2. So lithium, obviously the lithium loop is the big discussion point in the state. It's very exciting, but the part that's missing is the processing. Your thoughts on whether we should begin processing, and if so, where, because of the consequences for the environment?
Well, there's a ton of folks in that space as far as innovation. I was out at Clayton Valley a couple weeks ago, visited with the Schlumberger people who were taking lithium in brine from a well about 1,500 feet deep and putting it through a process there that, and then shipping out, proving their process. It was a kind of a pilot project, proving their process where they're going, here's the powder, here's the lithium that's ready to go into battery manufacture stuff. So, I mean, it's an active space in terms of that's lithium out of brine. There's potential for that in Railroad Valley. And then you've got the folks that do it out of the clays, which is the folks up Nevada.
Up at Thacker Pass?
Thacker Pass and Rhyolite Ridge are both folks that are doing it out of clay. So, I mean, innovation will continue to go forward, but there's been some great progress in that. The thing you got to remember, Sam, is you have to, any of that process, it's an interesting time because on one hand, the federal government is saying, we want EVs and we want to mandate all this other sort of stuff. And on the other hand, you still got to have, ask the Thacker Pass people. You still got to go through NEPA. And that at times has been a difficult trek for them, although they've stuck with it. They've been very responsible. They've dealt with all the issues they need to deal with as they come up. And as a matter of fact, DOE's going to give them, most likely, several $1 billion to mine lithium. Sam, did you ever think you would wake up on a day when the federal government would pay a company in Nevada to mine?
Nope.
I didn't either. But guess what? There you go. So Nevada's at the forefront of that. The problem is you got to keep the politics from screwing that up. Of course, we want to be concerned about the environment and make sure we're not doing anything dumb. But we need to be competitive versus the Chinese, versus the Australians. And here's the thing. We have the ability to be our own source for lithium and many other rare earths. But for the politics, there's no reason why we shouldn't be.
All right, but you have the environmental pushback on the other side. How do you deal with that?
Well, the facts are your friends. If the facts say you shouldn't be doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Thacker Pass is a great example of going, okay, so you knock down this domino. Okay, we knocked down that one. It's like, if your premise is you can't mine anything anywhere and have it be good, then I can't help you. But if you care about science, if you care about the facts, if you care about cultural resources, if you care about airsheds, watersheds, all that stuff, there are ways to deal with all of that stuff scientifically, and it should be dealt with. But if it's just the political thing of mining's a bad thing, then I can't help you, because mining has evolved a lot in the last 100 years, and even more in the last 20 or 30 years. And so when you take a 360-degree view around, it's a strong industry, it's a Nevada-centric industry, they pay well, they give their employees good benefits, they give them across the whole range, and by the way, you don't get permits from NDEP or BLM or any of those folks unless you do the right thing by the environment.
You remember back in the day we had VHS and Beta as far as recording your television programs?
8 tracks, baby.
Yes, but let's stick with Beta and VHS, because Beta ended up being the industrial format for TV stations because it was much better quality. VHS had the better marketing, and they ended up being the consumer product. And now we have a situation where there are lots of issues with electric cars, and I own an electric car, which I love. But I don't want to drive it further than Lake Tahoe because I'm concerned about charging. We're seeing more and more hybrids being sought by the public. Yep. And the resale value of a car with a battery is probably going to drop quite a bit, because in my particular car, to replace the battery is $40,000. I don't know that I'm going to keep that beyond the lease because of that fact. So are we pushing ahead with electric vehicles when in fact the public is likely to go more for hybrids? Where do you see this?
I think electric vehicles are the future, okay? I think they are. But I also think, and you've done a very nice way of saying it, but the reality is you need some more R&D. Like you said, this stuff's out, it's available, it's like, yeah, but it's not really economically compatible. When you scrub through all of the PR and all that other sort of stuff, you've just laid out some it's like, well, how far do you want to go and where are the charging stations? That stuff can all catch up, but there's other things that need to catch up too, like the cost of the batteries. By the way, you want to talk about batteries and recycling those. Everybody's looking into that space, but there's some very significant issues with toxicity of what you recycle, black matter and stuff like that, where it's like that needs some more work. And so will we get there? I think we will, but I don't think it's what lends itself to you're going to be there now or you're going to be there 60 months from now. Yeehaw, keep going on that R&D and stuff like that to make all that viable, but I don't think we're there yet. And as you've pointed out, the hybrids, dealers love them, customers love them, whatever. It gives you a way to kind of play in that game without being totally dependent on where we are in terms of the technology to support a fully electrified vehicle industry.
And that's where we have to take a break. We'll be right back with Congressman Mark Amodei from Washington, D.C. after this time out.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you. But we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Early in the morning or throughout the night, professional truck drivers are on the job, serving you, safely moving freight that's crucial to our economy. From the oldest industries to our newest innovators, from the exotic to the everyday. Trucks are everywhere, moving everything. Never afraid to embrace a future that makes Nevada and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
They want us to believe we only have two options. That's just not working anymore. I've never been a follower. I'm a businessman and entrepreneur. I'm ready to forge a new path to secure our future. One that keeps Northern Nevada free, fair, and wild. A path that means freedom for all, including affordable housing.
I'm Greg Kidd, and I approve this message because I'm not from either political party. I'm for Nevada.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Congressman Mark Amodei of CD2. You're one of the 12 appropriation cardinals in the House, chairing the Homeland Security Subcommittee. Recently, you shepherded the Homeland Security spending bill through the House, which we talked about the last time you were here. A lack of support from the far right almost toppled the spending deal and brought Congress close to a government shutdown. How did you get the others to go along so peacefully, especially after last year's commotion?
Well, I don't know if it was peaceful, but you know what, Sam? I mean, it's a pretty old-fashioned approach, which is, here are the facts. What are your issues? Do you know everything you need to about the issues? If you don't, we'll get you the information. Do you need to talk to somebody, whether it's at Border Patrol or ICE or Coast Guard or Secret Service or any of those folks, FEMA that we have jurisdiction over? And if you do, then we'll hook you up with them in real time so you can have that discussion. It's the old-fashioned lobbying stuff to go, if there are issues that we can solve, we'll solve them. And when you put the bill together, I mean, it's a collaborative process, not a, here's the bill I wrote, vote for it. You know, people don't respond well to that. So I think the success that we've had, even before that with Ledge Branch, which didn't make it through the floor this year, is you treat people with respect, you treat them like legislators, you find out what their issues are, and then you do what you can to resolve those. And, you know, we've been fortunate, we're 2 in a row now on the floor with appropriations bills in 2 seasons where appropriations bills have been tough.
You know, in a way, you're following the path, not politically, but philosophically, should we say, of Senator Reid, in the fact that he kept in his jacket pocket pieces of paper that listed what every senator wanted.
Yeah.
And that way he knew where to negotiate, and that was pretty amazing. Let's talk about, in our final minutes here, the Lake Tahoe area is appearing to have severe growth pains, as we all know, and concerns about evacuation in case of fire, increased tourism, etc. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it's a real threat, and it's one of those things where, you know, we almost had a reminder of it with the fires that burned through there a couple years ago. It sensitizes you to when you do the evac orders, because the existing transportation infrastructure out of Lake Tahoe, and I don't care what direction you're going, is for all intents and purposes 2-lane roads, except for that little piece of 50 which won't support evacuating all of South Lake Tahoe and environs to the east. And so first of all, you have to be real quick on that. And then second of all, highly organized to get those people out, because Sam, and if I'm wrong, wonderful, I don't think anybody's going to be building a bunch more lanes in the Tahoe Basin for when there's a fire and a mass evacuation event. So that means we're going to have to get much more, if you will, cunning about the minute that canary starts to cough in the mind, if you will, it's time to start moving people out and educate people well before that, so they expect that. They go, come on, the fire's in Placerville, we're fine. It's like, hey, the wind blows from the west to the east, and we can't get everybody out at the same time. So it's a real issue. It's the first responders and the planners, the TRPA folks, and Caltrans and NDOT and all those folks, Douglas County, Washoe County. Can you imagine a mass one at the north sending people over the Mount Rose Highway? I mean, that will not be fast.
And remember that only a few years ago, we had the Collin Ranch fire, and that moved so fast. I can't even imagine Mount Rose.
Well, just the one here the other day, where it's like, hey, it started and all of a sudden, boom. And that is in the front yard, if you will, where it wasn't a surprise. Everybody knew, and there's lots of resources around the area. But that tells you what kind of shape the fuel's in this year, even though we've had a couple of pretty good winters.
Well, and that's always the conundrum, which is if it's dry, we have fire season. If it's wet, we have fuel for fire season.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have you on the program. Thank you for doing this, as always.
Good to see you.
And we'll be right back.
Nevada Newsmakers Goes to Washington is brought to you by Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you. NV Energy. NV Energy proudly serves Nevada, providing electricity to 2.4 million electric customers. The Nevada Mining Association, mining a better future for Nevada. And University Medical Center of Southern Nevada, offering the highest level of care in Nevada.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Here on 7 at 7, we're bringing you the local headlines in just 7 minutes.
We've got you covered in the morning, evening, and for all breaking news in between and as it happens.
Life is busy, and we don't waste your time. Join us for local news now streaming on our YouTube page.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. We'll see you on the next broadcast from Washington, D.C. See you then.